Hi, this is JP from Not Lights Over Arkham. Welcome to another Hero Pack Focus, and this time we are looking into the Nightcrawler Hero Pack that comes with a pre-built protection deck. So without further delay, let's get started. Okay, so the Nightcrawler Hero Pack has been out for a while, but this is actually the first pack I've seen on sale here in Finland. So I jumped to get this as fast as I could, so I could make the review of this pack because I like Nightcrawler as a character and I like protection, so what better than to get a Nightcrawler protection deck to play with Marvel Champions with. So without further delay, let's go through the cards that come in this hero pack. So first off, we have Kurt Wagner. So this is the alter ego side of Nightcrawler. 3 recovery, mutant traded action. Search your deck for a copy of Bamf and add it to your hand, limit once per round. Hand size is 6, hit points is 9. And then we have the hero side, which is Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler. It's a hard word for me to say. 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3 defense, X-Men traded, and rapid teleportation. Action, spend 1 resource of any type, return a copy of Bamf from your discard pile to your hand, limit once per phase. Hand size is 5, hit points is 9. So I am taking that the Bamfs will be really crucial in playing Nightcrawler. So let's go through the signature set first. First off, we have the signature ally Day Tripper, which is a 2-cost ally with 2 thwart and 2 attack, mystic traded and 2 hit points. So right off the bat, it's a really efficient and cheap ally to have. And let's read the card. Response: after Day Tripper enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Bamf and attach it to an enemy. Deal 1 damage to each enemy with a copy of Bamf attached. And this can be committed as a wild resource. So again, I'm seeing that there will be a lot of synergy with the Bamf cards, with other signature cards in the set. Next we have Kurt's Chapel. It is a 1-cost support, location traded. Kurt Wagner gets +1 recovery. Alter ego response: after you make a basic recovery, exhaust Kurt's Chapel and choose a player. That player draws 1 card, and this can be committed as a mental resource. Next we have Kurt's Cutlasses. It is a 2-cost upgrade, counts as 2 restricted cards. Nightcrawler gets +1 attack and +1 defense and gains retaliate 1. So you really want to see this in play as fast as possible, because the retaliate 1 in a protection deck will be really good. Next we have Prehensile Tail. You can control 1 additional upgrade that has the restricted keyword. Resource: exhaust Prehensile Tail, generate a wild resource for an event, and it is a 1-cost upgrade and can be committed as a physical resource. Okay, that's thematic. Then we have a bunch of Bamfs. There are 3 copies in the deck. So Bamf is a 0-cost upgrade attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. Hero interrupt defense. When attached enemy attacks, discard this card. Declare Nightcrawler as the defender without exhausting him, and it can be committed as a physical resource. So the Bamfs don't do that much on themselves, but I'm going to guess other cards will combo off of them. Next up we have Port and Punch. 2 copies of this event. It is a 2-cost event attack, superpower traded. Hero action attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Deal 3 damage to each enemy with Bamf attached. and this can be committed as energy resource. So if we have 3 BAMs in on different enemies in play and you play this, it is a 2 cost which deals 12 damage as almost like an AoE, so that's really cost efficient. Next up we have Teleport Drop. It is a 2 cost event, attack and superpower traded, hero action attack, discard a copy of BAM from an enemy, deal 8 damage to that enemy and stun it, and this can be committed as a energy resource. So another high damage attack spell, or not a spell but a superpower event, so that's nice, I guess. And next we have Scout Ahead, 2 copies of this in the deck. Scout Ahead is a 1 cost event, superpower and thwart traded, hero action thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme. You may discard a copy of BAM from your hand to remove 3 threat from another scheme. So, and this is an energy resource for committing. Okay, well, that is the thwart event with the BAM synergy. Next up we have Port Away. Port Away is a 0 cost event and superpower traded, action, discard a copy of BAM from your hand, change form and ready your identity, and this can be committed as a energy resource. Okay. And lastly, in the signature set we have Tally-Ho, 2 copies of this card. Tally-Ho is a 1 cost event, defense and superpower traded, hero response defense. After BAMF makes Nightcrawler the defender of an attack, return a copy of BAMF from to your hand, deal 3 damage to the attacking enemy. And this can be committed as an energy resource. So most of the cards in Nightcrawler's own signature set have the energy trait, so that's worth noting. Next we'll go through the protection cards, and there will be some reprints in the rest of the cards, so those cards I haven't seen before or don't remember seeing before, I'll read, and the others I might just skip. First off, we have one of my favorite X-Men, Rogue. So Rogue is a 4 cost ally with 2 thwart and 2 attack. X-Men traded, 3 hit points. Action, deal 1 damage to another friendly character. Until the end of the round, Rogue gains each of that character's traits and adds that character's printed thwart and attack to her matching powers. Limit once per round. And Rogue can be committed as a physical resource. Yeah, well, we'll need to see. It's a bit costly ally, so we'll see how Rogue works. Next we have North Star. North Star is a 3 cost ally with 1 thwart and 2 attack. X-Men traded, 3 hit points. Interrupt. When a boost card is turned face up during an attack, deal 1 damage to North Star. Cancel all boost icons on that card. And North Star can be committed as an energy resource. So in protection this is really good because you can just know how much you are taking damage each round, so you can combo this with Dauntless and other cards that say that if you don't take any damage from the attack you get some bonus, so this is a really good synergy for that. And next up we have Change of Fortune, and there are 3 copies of this. Change of Fortune is a 1 cost upgrade, play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Response after you defeat an enemy during the villain phase, exhaust this card, draw 2 cards. And this can be committed as a mental resource. So again, really good synergy in protection with protection cards, because you are defeating a lot of enemies in the villain phase because you are retaliating or doing other defensive shenanigans against the villain. So this seems like a really good card in my opinion. Next we have Under Control. and 3 copies of this. Under control is a 0-cost upgrade, a tactic traded attached to a minion, max 1 per minion. After a hero defends against attached minion attack and takes no damage, deal 4 damage to that attached minion. As I was saying, the protection shenanigans of dealing damage when you don't take damage yourself. Next we have Come Get Me Bob, and I think we've seen this, but I have played so little with the protection mutants, so I read this card. So Come Get Me Bob is a 0-cost event tactic traded. Hero action, discard cards from the encounter deck until you discard a minion, put that minion into play, engage with you, heal 3 damage from your identity and give your identity a tough status card, and this can be committed as a mental resource. So yeah, it goes in the series of fetch an enemy and get a reward. That's good. Then we have a Powerful Punch. I think this is also been seen earlier. 3 copies of this. Powerful Punch is a 2-cost event, attacks and defense traded. Hero interrupt attack and defense. When an enemy initiates an attack, deal 4 damage to that enemy, and this can be committed as a physical resource. Yeah, I think we've seen that before. There starts to be so many reprints of cards before the mutants that I'm losing count. But yeah, good cards still. Next we have Riposte, and it is a 1-cost event. 3 copies of this in the deck. Riposte is a 1-cost event, defense traded, hero interrupt defense. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage from that attack, deal 3 damage to the attacking enemy. And this can be committed as an energy resource. Again, I'm pretty sure we have this already from an earlier set way back. And I'm really sure we have this, but maybe not with this art. So the power of protection and max 2 per deck, and yeah, it is there are 2 copies, so this is the core set protection resource card. Lastly, we have a new side scheme for players, player side scheme, so Astonishing X-Men. Again, not sure if we have seen this before, but I'm pretty sure we have, but I'll still read it. Victory 0 response: after an X-Men character defends against an enemy attack and takes no damage, remove 1 threat from this scheme. When defeated, stun to confuse each enemy in play, and costs 1 to play and can be committed as an energy resource. Lastly, we have some basic cards. First off, we have Gambit, which we have seen before. So I'm not going to read that. Next we have Moira McTaggart. I think we haven't seen Moira before. So Moira McTaggart is a 2-cost support persona. Play only if your identity has the mutant trait. Response: after a mutant alter ego changes into her form, into hero form, exhaust Moira McTaggart. That hero controller draws 1 card and can be committed as a mental resource. And lastly, we have the 3 basic resource cards with the mutant or X-Men art on them. So that is everything that comes in Nightcrawler's pre-built protection deck. Next we'll look through the obligation and the Nemesis set. First off, we have Crisis of Fate, which is an obligation. Give to the Kurt Wagner player. You may flip to alter ego form. Choose exhaust Kurt Wagner, remove Crisis of Fate from the game, or discard each attack and defense event from your hand. Discard this obligation. And this has 2 boost icons. Then we have the Nemesis set, which starts with Azazel. Azazel is a minion with 2 scheme and 3 attack, elite and Nuaphem traits. 3 hit points, quick strike. Azazel cannot have upgrades attached, so you can't play BAMF on him. Boost: deal Azazel to the Kurt Wagner player as a face down encounter card. And this is a boost ability icon. Next we have Brimstone Dimension. So it is a side scheme. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme finds Azazel and deals him to themselves as a face down encounter card, and this has a extra encounter card icon and 5 threat when it enters play and 3 boost icons. Then we have Azazel's Sword. So Azazel's Sword is an attachment, weapon traded, attached to Azazel, otherwise attached to the villain. Attached enemy attacks gain piercing. Hero response after attached enemy attacks you, discard 1 random card from your hand, discard this card. And this gives a +1 attack boost to the attached enemy and 2 boost icons. Lastly, we have 2 copies of Brimstone Strike. It is a treachery. When revealed, alter ego, find Azazel and reveal him, his schemes. Or when revealed hero, find Azazel and reveal him. And because Azazel has the quick strike, he will attack. Okay, so lastly we have a couple of other things, a few other aspect cards and a new encounter set. We'll start with the new aspect cards. We have new aggression cards, Combined Forces, 3 copies of this. Combined Forces is a 1-cost event, alliance and hero action, exhaust an X-Force character and an X-Men character, defeat a non-elite minion. Okay, that's a powerful one. So I can imagine when playing two-handed, you could exhaust, if you play an X-Force character or hero and an X-Men hero, then you can just defeat an enemy by exhausting the 2. But of course, you probably want to exhaust allies, so your hero is up to do other stuff. Okay, and it can be committed as an energy resource. Next we have a Gunboat Diplomacy, 3 copies of this. So Gunboat Diplomacy is a 1-cost event, attack and thwart traded, alliance, hero action, attack or thwart, exhaust an X-Force character and an X-Men character, remove X threat from amongst schemes in play and deal X damage amongst enemies in play where X is the combined thwart of the 2 exhausted characters. And this can be committed as an energy resource. So really interesting one. I think that's a good card for Justice. And then the last thing we have is the Crazy Gang encounter set, which starts with a side scheme. So this is the Crazy Gang. Forced response. After a non-elite minion schemes against the player, deal that minion to that player as a face-down encounter card. Then, if there is more than 1 player in the game, pass that face-down encounter card to the next player. And this is a acceleration icon and comes into play with 2 threat per player. Okay. Next, we have Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts is a minion. 0 scheme, 1 attacks, criminal and queen traded, 4 hit points. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Crazy Gang side scheme and reveal it. If it is already in play, deal yourself a face down encounter card, shuffle, and this comes in. This has 3 boost icons. Then we have Chester. Chester is a minion with 0 scheme and 1 attack, criminal trait, 5 hit points. When revealed, you are confused. If you were already confused, discard a support you control, and Chester has 1 boost icon. Next we have Executioner, minion, 0 scheme, 2 attack, criminal traded, 4 hit points. When revealed, Executioner attacks the friendly character with the fewest remaining hit points. If this attack defeats an ally, remove that ally from the game. And yeah, that's nasty. And Executioner has 2 boost icons. So if you jump block with a ally, that ally is gone. So that's nasty. And then we have Tweedledope. Tweedledope is a minion with 0 scheme to attack, brute and criminal traded, and 6 hit points. When revealed, you are stunned. If you were already stunned, discard an upgrade you control. And I think that's a typo. It has a boost icon which doesn't do anything. Oh well. Then we have Off with his head, which is a treachery. When revealed, each minion activates against the player it is engaged with. If no minion activates this way, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded and reveal that minion. And it has 1 boost icon. Okay, well, I'm going to try that encounter set in a future video I'm going to do with Nightcrawler. I still haven't decided which scenario I will be playing with Nightcrawler. I have to think about that, but yeah, I'm really pumped about Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is one of my favorite X-Men characters, and it is protection pre-built deck, so that's really exciting to try out. Yeah, so hope you guys like this overview of the Nightcrawler Hero pack, and maybe it was helpful for you to decide if maybe to get the hero pack for yourself. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.